Hey everybody, and welcome to another Pro SC2 cast done by yours truly, Mathis StarCraft. This is going to be a best of 3 between our Red Zerg MTW Damaga and our Blue Terran Empire Khaas. It's going to be on Shattered Temple, and this game is from a European tournament. I don't know what it's called. It was, according to the website I was on, it is for SC2 Row.Row, whatever that means. I don't know. I've never heard of it before. It's not Gigabyte or Stars War Killer or any of that good stuff. So, curious to see what's going to be. Like I said, it's going to be on Shattered Temple. This is game 1, and immediately we have a 6-pool going down by Damaga. Oh, man. Right away we have a 6-pool going down. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. And I don't even think he knows where his opponent is. I mean, he's going to be lucky and scout it right away. As you can see, scouting and bouncing out right out of there. Does not want to give Empire Khaas any idea as to where he is, wants to make him scout because that 6 pool needs to be an utter surprise if it's going to do much damage. And we'll see the wall-off is going to go down. I don't think the wall-off is going to be in time for all the Zerglings that are going to pop. He'll get his barracks down in time, but no extra supply depot. So immediately we have a very interesting beginning to this game. This could end it right away. We'll see what happens. He did save up the larva, so we do have 6 Zerglings coming on out, so 3 pairs of Zerglings going to be popping and immediately going. As you can see, if we'll follow this little rally point, is going to be headed straight for, I believe, the ramp, right at the base of the ramp. Going to get there and immediately storm the front gates, and he's going to be bringing drones and everything with him. So this is going to be very interesting. Let's follow these Zerglings and see how much damage he can get done. Khaas has no idea this is coming at all. He just assumes normal build, doesn't even know where his opponent is right now, hasn't even sent out the scout, no need to. This is going to catch him by 100% complete surprise, and if he doesn't know now, he does. If he didn't know before, he does now, and he is going to get that wall off just in time, but not before those Zerglings start hacking away at it, and at the very least, he's going to bring that down. Going to rush down those SCVs to try and get some repair done. If he can hold this wall, he's going to be fine, but no, he's not able to, and trying to get us around with the Zerglings and the drones, running those SCVs back to the main mineral line. Here comes one Marine attempting to do some damage here, but he's going to get a surround on that Marine so he doesn't do any damage at all, no attacking, dropping a bunker down in the main mineral line so he can at least get some people down, but he's going to kill that SCV well before that's finished, and that bunker's going to finish up, and as you can see, more Zerglings are streaming in. That is going to be canceled, dancing his SCVs around like crazy. If he can hold this, if he can kill them all with his SCVs, he is going to be okay. He basically has one if he can hold this off, so now he's just 1Aing them, but the Zerglings are going to prove to be too much, and yeah, that's going to be it. Zerglings versus SCVs, and 6-pool wins. Empire Khaas politely saying GG, so that's going to be game 1. Let's move on to game 2 in this best of 3. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with game 2 in this best of 3 between Empire's Khaas and MTW's Damaga. Damaga in the first game, 6-pooling and completely catching Khaas off guard and just winning that game very, very quickly. The power of cheese, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have it scouted, can seriously kill you, and you can get to high leagues just going off cheese. In the ladder. So yeah, you still see cheese in the pro game, as that is very apparent in this last game. So we'll see what happens. We're going to be playing on Antigua's Shipyard here, and a great map for anybody who enjoys the macro game. As I've said many times, Empire Khaas saying good luck and have fun. So still being a good sport, even though the last game did not go his way. Yeah, like I said, this map is great for the macro game, and it looks like we won't be seeing a 6-pool out of Damaga this time around. This time he's going to be playing a little bit more standard. Maybe a 10-pool, but definitely not a 6-pool, obviously, since he has about 12 drones. So, again, unexpected to see that from Damaga, as Damaga is quite the macro player, but a little cheese can get you a long way in the pro scene sometimes. You even see people like Idra cheese. Everybody cheeses every once in a while. It happens, as long as it's not your main, focus of play. As long as you don't only cheese because you're a bad player, then cheesing every once in a while is fine, as long as you're practicing on your actual skills and not your cheesing skills. So we are looking like he's 15 droning up, so early expansion looks like it's going down as we follow this right down to the expansion. So he is going to be 15 hatching before grabbing a pool. Curious if he's going to be doing a 16 hatching rather. 16 hatching into probably a 15 pool, 15 gas if he really wants to play a heavy macro style build, maybe just a 15 pool into more drones. We will see, as he has decided to go up to 15. And those minerals will probably start in stockpile. Gas first, actually. That caught me a little off guard. I was expecting pool first, gas first. So wanting to get the speedling upgrade as soon as he humanly can up in Camp Koss. Looks like he's not opting for the wall off, leaving that supply depot over here, maybe creating a bit of a later wall off. This is probably due to either bad timing on SCV production or getting a little supply capped a little too quickly, or letting his minerals go up a little bit, and instead of waiting for his SCV to walk all the way over to his ramp, he had to drop it quickly and want to get it down just so he can maintain standard timings, and dropped it right next to his of his orbital. Again, not a big deal, especially since there's no early Zergling pressure coming in, but if, say, another 6 pool was coming, this would have probably spelled the end for him. Or at least some serious damage. And we are dropping a quick factory immediately after the barracks. Potentially 1-1-1 build. We may just see a barracks factory to expand, and since we are seeing a reactor go down for the barracks, we are undoubtedly going to be seeing, absolutely going to be seeing Hellions. Hellion play is still extraordinarily prevalent and extremely powerful against the Zerg race, as you will soon see, as Hellions, I guarantee, will probably do some damage. If it doesn't do any damage, then Demaga was more than prepared for it. This is going to take some scouting on Demaga's part. If he can catch this early, then he'll be able to prepare for it with Spine Crawlers, potentially dropping a Roach Warren down in order to defend against the Hellions, as the Hellions don't do crap against Roaches at all. But if he isn't going to see it and he decides to go purely Zerglings, which is one of Demaga's favorite things to do, is to do heavy Zerglings, then this Hellion build can do a lot of damage. And it does look like, actually, in the production tab, we have a Roach Warren going down. Let's take a look if we can find it. It's got to be up here somewhere. There's the Roach Warren going down. So actually going to be completely prepared. Has not scouted that. Hasn't even scouted his opponent, but just immediately assuming, or at least preparing for Hellions. And actually, that's going to pay off huge for him. In my opinion, Roaches are good against almost any race, but unless I scout Roaches personally when I play, I don't typically go, unless I scout Hellions, I don't particularly go Roaches. I like to do the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk build against Terran, especially at my level of play. It's extremely effective. They don't know how to deal with it too often. So, and there's the Hellions going to be popping out. I'm going to have the Zerglings right on there, and as you can see, 6 Roaches coming out. So he's going to be having no issue against this. Koss needs to get in there and try and do some damage for these Roaches hatch. Hopefully the Queen will be enough, maybe reaction time, to get these drones out of here. The Blue Flame upgrade is not going to be going down, no need. Queen can kind of tank a lot of this damage early on, at least buying him time, and as all the Roaches are popping right now, these are more than enough to take care, and actually looks like he's going to be backing those Hellions off, probably waiting for the next wave of Hellions so we can go in with 4 Hellions to do some sort of economic damage, but he's going to be met with a lot of resistance with those, again, those 4 Roaches. That is going to be a hell of a shutdown on Demaga's part. It's going to shut these Hellions down and really not allow it. And look at all these Hellions popping out, and immediately going to lose 1 and run for the hills. Maybe trying to draw those Hellions out and then really do a scoot around them. But it looks like Demaga's just going straight for the base, maybe picking off the Hellions if he can on the way. Again, the Hellions don't do crap, and these Roaches looks like themselves have a mission. They are not caring about the Hellions whatsoever, just going straight for the base to do some sort of economic damage. We'll see if it gets enough done. Hellions running home but can't get in there to do any defense. Siege tanks are on the way, some Marines are on the way. He has replaced the barracks, moving that command center out of there before anything can get done, but it looks like he's going to try and bust down these at least one of the supply depots, but all of those SCVs are being bottlenecked by their own tank, and that happening is going to allow Demaga to break down that supply depot and break on in before any repairs can get done, and now he's going to be doing a lot of economic damage here. We'll take a look at the worker kill count as soon as this is done, using everything he has, SCVs, Marines, tanks, Hellions shooting up, because this makes a whole lot of sense, shooting up on the high ground, and those Roaches are going to lose it, but not before they kill 13 workers. If we go to the worker unit counting station, 37 drones to 15, dropping his 3rd. Demaga is now in an excellent position, and at this point, Empire Koss needs to do some extra damage. Gonna have repairs before he does anything else, repairing up on the injured vehicles, and he needs to push out at this point and do damage. If he sits back and tries to play the macro game against Demaga, he's going to lose. He needs to do damage, and he knows that. I think that's why he's repairing. I think he's gonna head out and try and do some sort of counter push, knowing that that was probably the good chunk of Roaches, maybe if not all of them that he has, maybe could actually do something. Speedling upgrade's not even up yet, so that early gas is actually so we could go very early Roaches. Roach speed on the way, and here comes the big push. 3 siege tanks, a Hellion, and a good chunk of Marines could be enough to at least bring him back into this game. All the Overlords are on the edge, are going to see whatever they can. If we take a look at his vision, he is going to actually see up here, and he's going to see some marching Marines, so know something's on the way at the very least. And now he's going to just kind of pull back a little bit. Doesn't want to try and fight it right here because the siege tech is about to finish, and if he can get in there, if the siege tech finishes, and if it is finished at this point, he doesn't want to overcommit and lose all of his units, but it looks like he is going to, seeing that the siege tanks aren't sieging, pushing down the ramp, at least pushing this back a little bit, but it does not look like Empire Cross is ready to give up. The siege tanks do a lot of damage to the Roaches. The Roaches are going to be going down very quickly. I like that he's actually target firing the Marine, because although siege tanks are quite good, without any reinforcements, without any backing from other troops like Marines or Hellions or whatever, they're not as good as they could be. Their main point is to siege so that they're the other units, such as Marines, can get in there and do the damage while they have the protection from a wide arc from these siege tanks. Going to be losing an Overlord, probably another one right here. If he doesn't back that up, he is going to be kind of focus firing. There goes the other Overlord, taking whatever free kills he can get. As you can see, the supply count is dropping very quickly. He needs to build some Overlords. He only has about five supply free going up and down. And now he's going to be throwing his army at him, at least picking off the Marines, so these siege tanks are pretty much worthless, or at least can't do too much. And yes, these siege tanks are going to go down now. More Roaches coming from the third base, so that's actually going to be a giveaway that, hey, there's another base over here. No drone, no saturation, but still, that's extra larva, and he has the economy to support 3 hatches right now because of the drone count and the complete worker count. He has ceased drone production, actually just did produce a few more, but did halt drone production there just to focus on army and push back that big attack, and actually that went heavily in Damaga's favor. Was able to ooh, nice cancel, by the way, on Casas there. Was able to hold that back, was able to come out atop, and now the army is going to be forced to just defend, and he has to pull back all of his workers, sieging up over here, and sadly these Marine counts aren't enough to take down all of these Roaches, but they are with the siege tank helping to dwindle those numbers, and now more Roaches are coming in, so he may lose these 3, but not before. He has about 5 more jumping in here, 1, 2, 3, 6 more jumping in, and picking off a bunch of retreating Marines. They are melting to the earth, and now he's hopefully going to get a couple more SCVs. He is going to get a few more SCVs, and there goes another one, and now he is going to be leaving his Roaches right behind the mineral line, it looks like, ceasing production, or ceasing mining for a little bit, forcing him to just move his siege tanks up, picking off an SCV that was just getting a little too brave, and now he's going to move his Roaches out. I actually like that. It allows his economy to flourish just while his enemies does not, and micromanagement that Empire Cross does not want to have to put the energy into right now, as he really needs to get his drones up and his SCVs up and working again. You can see the has to use all of his energy on what do you call them, on mules rather. Cannot scan, doesn't know that the second base is quite up yet, or I should say the third base is up yet, hasn't had the energy to do that. If we take a look at the drone count, it's 52 to 36, so Damaga just looking absolutely phenomenal at this point, dropping down a macro hatch, a spine crawler, and a spire, so looking to get some Mutalisks out to help finish this game up and deal with those heavy siege tanks, getting maybe some Mutalisks in the back line while he attacks on the front, just to pick them off, and then have his Zerglings, Roaches move in. And I like the little juke maneuver that that Damaga decided to do, even having Empire Costas think about going back to try and defend, but no, not going to bother. Is just going to allow the Marines and the siege tank that's popping out to finish it up. Not going to want to move over to there. Hopefully picking off another couple SCVs. That's his goal. 1, 2. Can he get another one? 3 before he goes down. And now we have the big push coming. As you can see, 23 workers killed. Still, so every SCV that goes down is just kind of running salt in the wound. And Empire Cost at this point, his economy is just absolutely in tatters at this point. Just really on the back foot the entire time. And it looks like Damaga's going to be losing a few more Overlords. Is just going to be sitting back, not going to worry about it. Yeah, he's losing them, but he's going to be rebuilding them as he's completely supply capped at this point. 20 pairs of Zerglings on the way, Mutalisks on the way to deal with this. Maybe even to put some counter pressure on with those Mutalisks into the enemy base, just to kind of force him either to retreat or potentially even just... now he's going to be actually engaging these here, but he's probably picked them off nice and quickly. Maybe even a free siege tank. Really wants to get as many siege tanks as he can. Does not want to overcommit, though. Might lose a few, taking a few pot shots as he's moving, but actually taking out... Yeah, he's going to be taking out those Marines and then maybe getting a siege tank, but there is the forced retreat. That's what he wants to see. 6 more Overlords will be popping, so the supply cap problem no longer a problem for that matter. And these Mutalisks are doing exactly what he wants to do. Applying counter pressure, force a little bit of a backup, a little bit of a retreat. He does have a bunker out here, and the siege line is looking pretty good, so holding it completely contained, but at this point... if he wants to, he could push out, and here come a bunch more. Let's see where this is going, right over here. And a bunch of Zerglings will be popping out, and yeah, the siege is nice. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Here comes Mutalisk to finish up the siege tank. He wants to take that down so his third isn't completely locked down. Marine's not a huge problem. He could throw Zerglings at him to force the enemy siege tanks to do damage to their own troops. And there he's going to be throwing the Zerglings at the Marines, losing that siege tank, and now flooding in the rest of his Roaches, Zerglings, and Mutas into the fray, and actually going to clean this up really quickly. Again, his economy has not taken any damage, so he has 4 hatches right now, so containing him is not going to do too much if you don't do a lot of pushing with that contain. Koss wasn't able to do any pushing. He was able to contain, but that's it. Not able to get much damage done because of Damaga's ability to just build a huge amount of troops and completely just hold and then push all at once and kill everything off. And now we're flying up a bunch of Mutalisks heading straight for the SCV line, saying screw it to the buildings, not worrying about it. We do have a couple barracks going down in the natural for him in an engineering bay. The engineering bay is going to be a little too late, though, as Damaga was more than comfortable, or felt more than comfortable enough to just push. And at this point, it does look like Empire Koss is going for one last hurrah, throwing all his SCVs at this, all of his siege tanks and his Marines, and that is going to be the GG, as the enemy, the army for Damaga was more than enough to take all of that. Alright guys, thanks so much. Take a look at my 200 subscriber video if you have not. The announcements are coming soon, and I will see you guys next cast.